What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Hamistang and today I'm going to talk about this phone over here and give you my full review, and this is the Honor X9c. So into this video what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you my experiences of using this phone for a couple of weeks already, and I like to break it down into four main segments over here just to give you guys a more comprehensive overview of how this phone has been for me over the past few weeks. So yes, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Okay, so first things first, we're going to talk about the price over here. So right now, I don't know exactly the price of this phone, but looking at how the X9B went, it would be placing it at about the 1500 ringgit mark. I don't think there's going to be a lot of differences over here. So it does put it at about the 350 to 400 or maybe the $450 mark, which does place it at a mid-range phone. So we're going to look at it as a mid-range phone. And in the first segment over here, this is the most important, and that is of course the holding experience. So basically how the phone would feel in your hand on a daily basis. And of course we know about the Honor X series, that is all about durability, but of course with the Honor X9c over here, they have of course added some upgrades over here compared to the X9B, which I really did like from last year. So of course if we talk about the screen toughness, we have a tougher front display over here, and of course if you guys have followed my channel, and of course we'll put some videos over the sides over here, you can see they have gone through some vigorous testing over here. And of course we have done the 20-meter drop multiple times on this phone. We also have seen it go through the hammer test over here, using the front display to hammer some nails, and no scratch, no dents, no cracks on the front display here, which is really good. And of course we have seen it against the water jet up to 7000 psi, and it still holds up really well. And of course we have seen it against up like stuff like watermelon, coconuts and all that, just to show you guys how much of a pressure it is applied on those kind of stuff. And this phone over here, it's still able to withstand those kind of pressures, which is of course really cool. And of course in case if you do drop it in the water, or maybe if you're eating some steamboat or hot pot like here in Malaysia, you drop it, you don't have to worry about it because it is still able to kind of block out the waters over here, giving you an IP65 rating compared to last year's IP53. So definitely this phone over here has seen some good upgrades from last year's already impressive X9B. In terms of the design, it is pretty similar. We have the curve on the sides, we have the buttons on one side. Overall, it feels really similar to last year's phone. So there isn't really a huge kind of difference over here, which I would say get this over here in terms of the design. I do like the colors over here because it does give you a more premium design. We have the whole black color over here, and then the titanium black, that is what they call it. And we also have the gold ring all around the camera here, which I really do like. So it does give you that kind of premium feel with this phone over here. It's not just a kind of rugged phone, tough phone, but it still does give you an elegant look to it, which I of course really do like. Of course, if you want to use the phone case that does come with the box over here to give you extra protection, you can do so whatsoever. For me over here, I like it because it is very reassuring, because you don't have to worry about, you know, dropping this phone and like think about it like I need to buy a new phone because there is a phone crack or whatsoever. And like I mentioned in my previous video, so in case you kind of pre-order it, depending on where you're from, most of the time Honor will give you a 6-month kind of one-to-one exchange, so you don't have to worry about the durability on this. And I think this is where they kind of target this for their audience. So in case you want to talk about durability, this is the highest end when it comes to their X series. So for the holding experience on this, I would give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Okay, so next up over here is where we see a little bit more of some upgrades here as well, and that is of course the viewing experience. So here with the X9c, we do have your stereo speaker setup, which is really nice because you get, you know, to enjoy with the large display over here, the nice large 6.78-inch AMOLED panel over here, with of course your extra brightness, and sometimes if you get your mono frame speaker, that would take off the whole viewing experience enjoyment from it. So I'm really glad to say that with this over here, it is actually really nice, because like I mentioned, you have a large display over here, curved display, very futuristic looking. Of course, you can enjoy it here with the stereo speaker setup. It does get pretty loud, I would say, and it does get really clear. I wouldn't say it's the best as compared to like maybe the 200 Pro or Magic 6 Pro, but it is still really good, and I don't think a lot of people will be complaining it over here at this price point. Of course, if we talk about the haptics, as you would expect, it isn't the best, but it still gets the job done. It does give you strong haptic feedbacks when you're going through your social media, your buttons, calls, or notifications. So overall, the viewing experience on this, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. Okay, so next up over here, let's talk about the user experience, and of course this would cover the hardware and of course the software side of things. So hardware wise, in terms of the processor, yes, we still get the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 processor, not the highest end or maybe a mid-range 7 processor, which isn't too bad for me and liking. Of course, if you want to talk about heavy gaming with this phone, you can't really do it with like so-called the highest settings, so definitely it's not aimed towards gamers. So don't buy this phone and have your mindset that I want to use it for gaming. Of course, if you want to do light stuff like light gaming as in lower settings, that will definitely get the job done. If you want to use it for your email checking, your social media, and just going through as like a normal phone, to be honest, I've been using it. I didn't really notice a lot of lags, a lot of heating issues with it, so it does work really nice. Of course, if you want to switch in between apps, I would say it does pretty well up to maybe 3 to 5 apps. Of course, if you want to open up like 10 apps or whatever, you can't really get the whole kind of RAM feature over here. Yes, they have the RAM Turbo feature, but of course you have to think about the stuff that you're doing with it. So yeah, it still does get the job done, which is what I'm basically saying at this price point over here. And overall, one thing that did really impress me is of course the AI features, because this is something that Honor is actually doing a lot with their phones in 2024. So although you are getting the X series over here, you still do get a lot of cool AI features, which is of course really cool. And of course, one thing that I want to highlight over here is of course the battery here, a massive 6600 mAh of battery, which is of course amazing, because some people who are working in this line, blue collar people or whatsoever, they want a durable phone and they don't really have the time to charge up their phones as well. So I'm really happy that this phone here does deliver more than a full day of usage. And of course, you can pump this baby up with the 66 watt on a supercharger really fast, especially for, like I mentioned, people who don't have the time to charge up their phones. You can actually charge this up really fast. So it's all really good and nicely packed into one package over here. And for that being said, the user experience I will give on this is a solid, again, 8 out of 10. Okay, so last but not least, let's talk about the cameras over here, and this is where you're going to see some corners to be cut. So in terms of the selfie department, it's very simple over here. You do get a nice 16 megapixel sensor. Not the best, not the clearest, I would say, but again, when it comes to just taking normal portrait shots or whatsoever, it does get the job done. It does give you a nice skin texture, nice color, and also your edge texture isn't too bad. When it comes to the rear cameras over here, you get your important cameras, you get your ultra-wide, your main lens. The main lens does give you an OIS sensor, so it does help when you are taking shots like at something that's moving, or maybe you want to take videos of here. The OIS definitely does help. Of course, in plenty of daylight, it does give you really good sharp images, and it does give you very nice, I would say, and pleasant images that you can actually post on social media without much problem. Of course, if you want to talk about like night mode, or if you want to talk about the so-called streakier lighting conditions, that is where it kind of just falls back a little bit compared to your high-end phones. But again, at this price point, you can't really fault this phone too much, and I would say that they still are giving you the necessary cameras of here, especially the ultra-wide lens, which of course is very highly used by many people and very useful. So overall, it still does get the job done, and for this, I would say the camera experience is a solid 7 out of 10. Alright guys, so that is it with my review of the X9c, and of course the ultimate question is, should you go out and buy it? For me, I always feel that the X series is always targeted for a special kind of audience, not in that sense, but it's targeted to a specific group. And of course, if you guys are looking for a very durable phone to give to maybe your parents or your kids, or to someone that you know that is in a job line where they might be prone to dropping their phones or whatsoever, or they don't have the time to charge up their phone or be always on the go, I think this phone here does fit the bill really good. It is a huge upgrade compared to last year's X9b. You get a better display, you better speakers, better cameras, better durability overall. So definitely this phone over here is a good upgrade. Of course, these are just my thoughts and my opinions. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed this video, do click the like and smash the subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next one.